Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, I'm going to share an analysis of the operational impacts for renewable energy assets based on a loss of production tax credit driven refurbishment and repowering. Today, some renewable energy asset owners in the United States have enjoyed requalifying their projects for production tax credits after their first 10 years in operation. They could count on refurbishing or repowering their projects and requalifying them for another 10 years of the production tax credits based on the way the rules are currently written. This extra production tax credit revenue led many owners to become highly dependent on that PTC revenue as a percentage of total revenue that they receive. The average across all wind energy projects in the United States is just under 24%, and that dependency has led to some O&M decisions which are now becoming unviable as these production tax credits go away after 2027. The tax and budget bill that was signed into law in the USA on July 4th, 2025, has some specific implications for some of those asset owners. But before we dig into that, we need to understand some more on operations and maintenance. IntelStor has analyzed the production adjusted maintenance cost across the entire USA installed base in order to see who may be in trouble because of this anticipated repowering that's facilitated by a PTC requalification that will no longer be possible. Keep in mind that this production adjusted maintenance cost is the ultimate metric because it takes into account how much you're spending versus how productive in megawatt hours produced your asset is. Asset owners that have Siemens Gamesa turbines actually show the best performance and lowest degradation over time, with an average maintenance cost of $6.03 per megawatt hour produced. Nordex Group is second at $6.10, with some of the lowest maintenance cost on its newest models and brand new projects. Goldwind and Vestas are actually tied at $6.41, with Vestas showing a significant increase in maintenance cost for assets over 20 years old. GE Vernova is actually the last on the list of all major wind turbine OEMs still actively offering turbines in the USA at $6.49 per megawatt hour produced. Their maintenance costs see a significant increase faster during their asset lifetime than any other OEM's assets. Now, many asset owners and operators are seeing costs escalate substantially after the first 10 years in operation because they've been running their wind farms hard to be able to extract the maximum value from the production tax credits that they receive. This actually partially explains what's happening with GE Vernova because major GE asset owners like NextEra are really overrunning their turbines, which wears out the mechanical components faster. Over the past few years, this overrunning was done deliberately with an expectation that the asset owners could repower their worn out asset with the benefit of this production tax credit requalification. You basically get production tax credits for another 10 years once you've upgraded the turbines or refurbished the gearbox, refurbished the blades, etc. But now that won't be available after 2027. So asset owners will need to life extend assets in order to carry them past this PTC valley of death during 2028, particularly those asset owners who had anticipated being able to repower their project when it was installed back in 2018 and beyond. It's important to note that in the USA, the market is so driven by the production tax credit repowerings that the average age of drop-off in technical performance is just a fraction over 11 years. Vestas turbines actually last the longest, or are at least run the least hard, and can last up to just under 15 years before they show a drop off in performance of more than 10% of the historical average net capacity factor. At the other end of the spectrum, Nordex shows a drop off in performance after only 7 years, and GE Vernova averages a bit over 9 years. Tracking this actually confirms that the asset owners and operators are attempting to maximize their PTC revenue and then leverage the ability to repower to start the clock again on the PTCs and reboost their technical performance back to the level of when they originally installed the project. But with the changes to the tax law and the lack of the ability to requalify a project for the PTC after 2027, asset owners who have installed capacity since 2018 will actually need to modify their operational methods. Keep in mind that there can be a benefit to asset life extension with a particular impact on projects that are unprofitable. For projects that would not have achieved a net positive return on capital during the planned lifetime of the asset, just 1 year worth of life extension on those assets, about 14.3 gigawatts, it can bring in more than $1.1 billion in total revenue for them. Life extension would help these projects reduce the amount of their residual value, which could make them unattractive to repower even without the benefit of the production tax credits. The reality is that even though the PTCs are going away, rising PPA prices in the USA will partially make up for some of the loss incurred to asset owners for the production tax credit related revenue that they get. And the reason for these increases is, for one thing, there's increasing demand for electricity and a limited supply of power that will make refurbishment or repowering more attractive if a PPA can be renegotiated at a higher price versus the current price. And frankly, a desire to lock in a long-term fixed PPA in the face of a potential surge in power prices will actually lead corporate power buyers to try and firm up more lucrative deals sooner rather than later as they anticipate these price increases. So even though you may see people backing off, signing new PPA deals, that's going to change pretty quick once they start seeing prices spike. Now, going back to the production adjusted maintenance cost analysis, if some asset owners who overrun their turbines do not change their operational or maintenance habits, they risk being stuck with a fleet that they would need to repower without the benefit of a production tax credit. In order to do that, they will likely have to show that their project already has achieved a net positive return on capital, or else they're very close to achieving a break even on the project. Otherwise, the impact on the production adjusted maintenance cost will be seen quite starkly, as the maintenance cost per megawatt hour produced will get substantially more expensive with aging assets that degrade more quickly and more frequently than ever before. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. Follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel as well as your favorite audio platforms. And visit www.intelstor.com to join more than 200,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solutions. A full analysis of the renewable energy market in the USA is available to subscribers. And time is running out for you to register for the next Wind Summit event in Houston, Texas this October. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues from companies like NextEra, EDPR, EDF, Pattern Energy, Clearway, Apex Clean Energy, and more. We hope to see you there.